Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your neighbor here. Welcome. Well, not to the Nook. We're outside on the deck of a ranch down in southern Alberta that me and my sisters and my mom, we actually rented, and we're spending a couple of days together. And I think, for Alberta, this is a pretty good way to holiday. And today, to share with you guys, I have this, the Balvenie Week of Peat. This is a 14-year-old single malt Scotch that, we'll get into the story number. It says story number 2, which is interesting. After the shortcut. Actually, I can't do a shortcut. I'm here just doing live on the video. So we'll just get right into this. The Balvenie is not it was one of my earlier Scotches. Jamie, brand ambassador, did a tasting. I was fortunate enough to be a part of that, and it was really great. And I have to say, at the time, my favorite was the 14-year in Caribbean rum cask. And that is strange because I'm not a big rum fan. It's kind of hit and miss, tends to be too sweet. So now I'm interested to say, let's take this, still 14-year single malt. But here the character isn't, that from that rum casking, but instead it's the story of Ian Millar and how he uses Speyside peat to peat their more fruity malt. Now I'm letting it air out here. There's lots of air being outside. But there's some really nice things about this, It's got a unique story. I have looked it online. I have to say, actually, the tin is full of story and quotes, and we got the peat burner and how we made it happen, and even the story of Brian Webster, the mash man, and how it really stuck on his clothing, and his wife really noticed it too when they decided after, I think they were visiting Isla, and they came back and said, you know what, we've got this week where we're kind of turning our stills around or something, and we could do something different. And they decided that different was to run a peated Scotch. I believe they use Speyside peat. Well, it says that. And it's really, really neat. Now, as I said in the short, if you didn't see it, the reason why this is in my hand, I am a bit of a bargain hunter, is at Costco in Alberta, Canada. It's $114 Canadian, which is a really good value. So this also, what I love about it is, 14, so we got age stamp, and 48.3, and it's non-chill filtered. And I think that is how whiskey should always be. And I don't know if it says natural color. I haven't spent enough time with it. We are on holidays. I get a short window to be on the deck and open this up with you guys. So let's get into the whiskey. A lot of talk, John. I have to say, must be sweet because a little bug flew in and joined me here on this Scotch. But the first notes for me are really quite sweet. We're talking stone fruit, peach, lots of light and bright fruits, with a bit of a smokiness, with a bit of a smoky hug kind of thing going on. So it's not overwhelmingly peaty on the nose. There's a smoky, earthy, and a lot of fruit. Like I'm surprised. It could be where I am, could be my context, but it just does surprise me the amount of fruit. Like a brightness. Almost a mango tropical, peach sweet. Wow, that's really good. Hopefully I don't get the little guy in this first swig. Let's try a sip. Sláinte, and hope you've had some kind of holidays. Even, a couple of days just kind of out here is great. Don't have to go far, don't have to go overseas, but I hope you've had just a moment on a deck somewhere to enjoy something like a good Scotch. Let's give her a try. Sláinte. So, first thoughts. I got to get back into this with some comparative drams. Much peatier on the palate. Well, the nose was all that light and that fruit and smoked fruit and tan and leathered and those kinds of things. In the palate here, this is peaty, smoky, almost ashy. It's a little bit, bit a bit at the back of my tongue. It's far more aggressive. Now it's 48%. It's the first and only whiskey of the day today. So obviously my palate isn't, dialed in. So I better get another sip to see, where is it going? much better integrated second time around. It's still really quite a little bit ashy. So not iodine, little bit salty, but really quite like smoke ash, wood ash, a little bit of wood tannins, a little bit of wood spice. I'm really looking for that fruit, because I have to say the nose had this, like just this deep fruit bouquet. Let's see if I still get it. Yeah, I still can. But certainly Balvenie is saying, hey, we really wanted to play with some Speyside peat, and we're doing that here. Gonna try it again. Trying to get at some other layers beyond that oakiness, the woodiness, the layers of smoke and some ash that I'm getting. Try it again. Third time's the charm. There I'm getting a little more mouth coating. I was expecting, yeah, exactly. Now it's like, almost comes back on your lips, you know, and now you're like, okay, here's some more oils, here's some creaminess that I wasn't getting in the first two sips. So I do need to let it rest. I need to work at it and then not worry about the little friend that I've picked up here who's also enjoying, oh no, he's passed on now. But this is getting a little bit better here, and I do want to try this against some other peated drams. If it's your first peated dram, I actually think it might be significantly peaty for those that are like first into peat. I knew he was going to come up at some point. It is evolving in the right direction. It's like it's coming back together, and I'm getting more of a balance of what I think is a bit more characteristic to the Balvenie. It is still a little bit rough for me. It's a little bit rough on the edges. It's a little bit husky on the palate. But I have to say, you know, it's kind of a rainy weekend here and a little bit rough, peated, beautiful nose. I still want to say right now, the nose is just about the best part of this Scotch for me. I think I just need more time with it. And I just opened this. I'm out here. I don't have a comparative dram with me. But I love this story, Ian Millar here. I love the Speyside peat. I love the idea of doing it just 1 week out of the year. And I do think they have this light, gentle spirit that to try peated is really quite nice. I wish I had the 14 Caribbean rum cask. I know that'd be wildly different, non-peated and then rum finished or cast. But it would be nice to see because they'd be the same kind of ages, right? That 14 years. Last sip without the bug. This continues to go back into a very nice direction. I have no regrets, even a little, about picking this up for around that $114. That's a fair amount of coin, but to get a Balvenie at, you know, non-chill filtered and unique like this peated, I think is a good experience. If you're a Speyside drinker, you're not an Isle of Peat drinker, I think this will be a lot for you. This is ashy and smoky and scrapes along the side of the palate. So go into it with those ideas, but this is a pretty nice bottle. It's starting well. Those of you that had a bit longer than me, you've compared it, you've thought about it, you've chewed on a little bit, why don't you share your thoughts? And that way when people tune in here, they can get your thoughts, which I'm sure are a lot more developed and better than mine. Thanks for joining me out here on the deck. Again, hope you've had a fantastic summer. Even just a couple of days of break can make all the difference getting back to work, even if the work's good. Thanks for joining me. You guys take care.